Good morning, dear students. I hope you all have enjoyed Festival of Lights staying at home. So after Diwali vacation, this is our first lecture. So students, be ready for the studies. Today I am going to start with the second semester syllabus, and the chapter name is Cell Structure and Microorganisms. That is lesson number 11. Students, you see a large variety of animals and plants in your surroundings. They all are of various shapes and sizes, and also they look different from each other. But one thing is common in all of them. They all are made up of small unit of life, that is cell. This is very important. Now you can see here animal cell displayed over here. Now let us see the definition of cell. A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. So you have studied here the definition of cell. So once again, let us see, cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Now students, we are going to study the discovery of cell. Who discovered cell first? The cells were first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. What he did, he examined a thin slice of cork under a primitive microscope and saw that the cork resembled the structure of a honeycomb consisting of many little compartments. Robert Hooke called these compartments as cells. You can see here Robert Hooke's image you can see here. Now students, you can see a microscope displayed over here. In 1673, Anton van Leeuwenhoek assembled various lenses to construct a microscope. He was the first to observe live bacterial and protozoan cells under the microscope. Cells are extremely minute in size. We cannot see cells with the naked eye. Micrometer and nanometer are the units used for measuring their sizes. The compound microscope is used for observing cells. An object on a glass slide magnified many times by the lenses of this microscope. You can see the microscope over here, and the parts are also shown as it is displayed over here. One centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters, and 1 millimeter makes 1000 micrometers, and 1 micrometer, even micrometer is also called micron. So 1 micron is equal to 1000 nanometers. Now let us see the introduction of cell. As we have studied the definition of cell, it is given here. Take a small piece of an onion and peel off the skin with the help of a pair of forceps. Put this layer immediately in a watch glass containing water. Now take a glass slide, put a drop of water on it and transfer a small piece of the peel from the watch glass to the slide. Now put a drop of iodine solution on this piece, followed by a cover slip with the help of a mounting needle. Put the slide under low power followed by a high power of a compound microscope. All these structures are similar to each other. You can see here. Now let us see the size of cells. The size of cells in living organisms may be as small as a millionth of a meter, that is micrometer, or micron means very small, minute, or maybe as large as a few, that is centimeters. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer in bacteria. The largest cell measuring 170 mm into 130 mm is the egg of an ostrich. You can see here. Now students, there is a great variation in the shape of cells. Their shapes are mainly related to their function. Now you can observe the cells of different shapes shown here. You can see the shapes of the cells. See them carefully so that you can make out the different shapes of the cells. Cells are of many different shapes. You can see here. Some are circular, some are rod shaped, columnar, spiral, oval, rectangular. So there are many different types of cells. Each cell contains certain specific components within it known as cell organelles. Each kind of cell organelle performs a special function, such as making a new material in the cell, clearing up the waste material from the cell, etc. These organelles are studied in detail with the help of electron microscope, which can magnify images up to 2 into 10 raised to 9, 2 billion times their actual size. You can see here plant cell, and the parts also you can see here, and the animal cell is also shown here. The parts also you can see, the animal cell and the plant cell. So you can see here two types of cells, animal cell and plant cell. These cells consist of various types of membrane bound cell organelles. Plant cells have a definite shape due to the presence of cell wall. Besides, unlike animal cells, plant cells contain single large vacuole. Plant cell contains single large vacuole. All these cells are known as eukaryotic cells. Now let us see the components of the cell. The first one, just now we have seen the animal cell and plant cell, how it is seen. So we will see the components of cell. The first is cell wall. The cell wall is the outermost covering of a cell. Just now you have seen it is present only in plant cells. This you have to keep it in your mind. The second is plasma membrane. The plasma membrane, also called the cell membrane. Plasma membrane is also called as cell membrane. It is a kind of thin covering. It is extremely delicate and flexible. It is the outermost covering of animal cells. Now the next component, cytoplasm. The liquid part in the cell present around the nucleus is called cytoplasm. It occupies the space between the plasma membrane and nucleus. Cell organelles are scattered in the cytoplasm. Now the next component, cell organelles. These mainly include the nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, that is Golgi bodies, lysosomes, mitochondria, vacuoles, plastids, etc. Plant cells also contain chloroplast. This is the main difference between plant cell and animal cell. That is presence of chloroplast in plant cell. So today we will stop here and we can continue in the next lecture, the next part of this lesson. Thank you, students.